I'm Francesca Marone. The aims of this presentation is reconstructing the implications of the notion of democratic citizenship, providing alternative models of citizenship in the face of sexual gender diversity. It is focused on the notion of sexual citizenship, sexual gender diversity, multiculturalism and democracy. Its expected outcomes: elaborating possible alternative models together with the attendants, moving from knowledge and non-discriminatory attitude achieved through the adult education. The social and cultural differences within a national context, the current difficulties for the affirmation of civil rights of women and recognition of their self-determination, the ways in which over the years the work has been organized and the income is distributed to internal households show that there are still substantial differences in everyday life, and that the commitment to acquire a status in the family and society which respects the equality and at the same time is the grantor of the development peculiarities of the female must be strongly renewed. We identify several dimensions of equal citizenship, including constitutional citizenship, democratic citizenship, social citizenship, sexual and reproductive citizenship, and global citizenship. This method reveals the multiple factors that shape status and standing in society and foster or impede the ability of persons to fully participate in society. Democratic citizenship is learned in various processes and social and political institutions. Therefore, we have activated at the Faculty of Humanities, with the approval of the Department for Rights and Equal Opportunities, a path in the promotion of culture and gender equality called Women, Politics and Institutions, training programs for the promotion of culture and gender equality. Theoretical horizon that lights our path of research on the contribution of women's studies to development of active citizenship is that of critical feminist pedagogy. The action research with the students, university administrators and the citizens introduced the theories, models, experiences and the practical skills, having already built a new public space in the past, and or currently may radically point to a social and political change, usable for both women and men. Research goals were to promote the study and the research on gender relations, the role of imagination in the construction of cultural models, the relationship between identity and otherness, the value of differences and encouraging the need for new information, aimed at spreading awareness of their rights for the satisfaction of needs emerging in the social, cultural, professional, educational field. Create a public space in which to experiment original forms of sociality, in which to state our ethical and political options. The teachings were articulated around a number of disciplinary nodes in the specifications for the social construction of gender, and in particular the issue of women's subordination in the family, and the profound changes that now invest educational institutions and training systems, the way of work, organizations, and the public and the private relational configurations. The access of women to forms of power and influence in various cultural and political spheres. Cultural conditioning in the perception and the representation of the female body and sexuality. The condition of women and the channels for access to training and the labor market. Good practices and policies of combining work and family life, the promotion of female participation in the creation of socio-economic activities, the improvement of social structures to support the work of women. Methods of choice of research and intervention were training methods of gender that help develop self-reflection and knowledge of the trainees. Therefore, we used in the work of classroom techniques such as team working with a focus on internal relations, narrative tools, experiential approaches, and the adoption of languages that facilitate the emergence of female subjectivity. We know that narrative methodology is a valid instrument encouraging the reflection and the self-knowledge of forming subjects and developing self-reflexive, meta-emotional and metacognitive faculties. That is why we will employ technique as group and individual works, autobiography, narrations, simulations and study case, allowing to help the establishment and the expression of identity and the legitimation of sex subjectivity through self-report. Education for active citizenship was proposed as education for growth, or as acknowledgement of one's own gender identity, one's own relation experiences, one's own being in the world and in a particular historical and cultural context. These practices of participatory research have proven effective in identifying, in the enhancement and development of attitudes, skills and capacities of the trainees and the hidden curricula. The intervention allowed the construction of a sense of belonging, of citizenship through analysis and evaluation of their training, history and work. It is also noted the importance of the relation between training participants, attention to the resources of each individual, the enhancement of female affect. Thanks to a range of support services, training activities such as tutoring and online spaces for reflection, it was intended to customize the way to identify specific training needs in relation to specific social needs and skills of analysis and design of educational activities. Action taken have had an empowerment of individuals and communities. Furthermore, both the first and the second edition have been joined by numerous events in synergy with each other, now proposed by the teachers, now by the learners themselves, now by the local authorities, helping to create a real network on the issues which were widely discussed and explored in the course of the two editions.